Kirby is just a great character with some great games on both the consoles and the handhelds. I always thought that it would be cool if we had a big, epic 3D Kirby adventure. Doesn't it sound great? Kirby 64 was the first main opportunity for them to shift the franchise from 2D to 3D. However, the developers decided to stay on the safe side and released that great 2.5D side-scroller, which was fine because it was still awesome. When the GameCube came along, I got my wish. Sort of. They did release a 3D Kirby game, but it was a racing game, Kirby Air Ride, and yeah. Not that it was bad or anything, but I would have liked to see a full 3D, which I think they planned, maybe. Unfortunately, we never got that on the GameCube. Why not? Why didn't we get that? The Wii was another opportunity for a grand, but they still didn't take the risk. Does Nintendo really think that they can just keep releasing these 2D games and spin-offs forever? Because they can't. That is why I decided to make a list of things that I think would make the next Kirby game a fantastic. It is somewhat in the form of a guide. I'm hoping that my input will influence people to discuss this and think about their own opinions of Kirby 3D. Here's a map of how I'm going to arrange this guide. Alright, so you got a good look at it? Well, I will be dividing this series into 8 sections on what this new Kirby idea needs. Each section will focus on a different topic for the game. In order, they go intro and controls, gameplay, gameplay changes, like boss battles and such, story, abilities part 1 and 2, because there's a lot of them, multiplayer, and then a miscellaneous category. I recommend you watch them all in order, because if you don't, Kirby will smack you with his star rod right across the face. Now, without further ado, I bring you the first segment, talking about controls. The controls for a Kirby game should be simple, yet still covering all the options needed. I have mapped what a possible button matchup could be on a virtual console controller for the Wii, but it isn't the only configuration possible, obviously. I'll briefly give an overview, and then go deeper into each action. So, here's the map. Left stick to move, A button to jump, B to swallow or use an ability, depending on if you have an ability or not, Y to use melee. X is kind of optional what you do with it, I'm not really sure. It's just kind of there. Yeah. Right stick for the camera, and R to crouch. Also L will get rid of an ability that you don't want. Got that? Okay, starting with movement. Pretty obvious. It's just the standard walking movement for a 3D platformer. A can do a standard jump, or tap repeatedly to float multiple times, like in Brawl. B should be used to swallow an object or use an ability. Swallowing should have a fairly short range, so it isn't too powerful, and only be able to inhale one object at a time. I'll talk about abilities in a different segment, so stay tuned. If you have a swallowed enemy in your mouth, then pressing B again will spit a star, like in the 2D games, or press L to digest it. If you're floating in the air, B should cancel that to make you lose the air, like spit the air out and make you fall down faster. That's pretty much everything I need to talk about on the B button. Moving on to Y. I think melee would be necessary for a faster way to attack any normal enemies. After all, who doesn't want to see Kirby beat the living crap out of stuff? I'd love to see that. It shouldn't be too complex, just punch, kick, and slide, as shown here. I think it would be a nice touch to defeat enemies by combining both your abilities and standard fighting attack, but I'll talk more about that later. R would be used to crouch to avoid projectiles, and also combining it with Y would let you do that slide attack. This might sound a bit worthless, crouching, but if used correctly it can add more exploration and secret finding into the game, which is always a plus. For example, you can slide under a tight space, or crouch under a flying enemy. The rest is pretty simple. L to lose an ability, nothing too special there. Right control stick will operate the camera, which the camera will automatically be set, or if you moved the right stick it would be free. Think Wind Waker. And last, the X button. I'm not sure exactly what to do with it, if anything at all. Leave your comments below on what you think the X button should do. First-person camera seems like an option, but it never really seemed necessary in the game. After all that, it ends up very simple and also derivative of other 3D platformers. But if something isn't broke, do not fix it, please. Well, that's all I have to say for the game's controls. And in a nutshell, think 3D Mario with elements from the Kirby series, like Amazing Mirror or something. The next episode is on the gameplay, and I'll leave a link right here. I think it will be much more original with some of the ideas on that. This episode was more trying to get some basic things down. So again, I'll show my map of the controls, and please leave a comment and or video response to give your opinion on the matter. If you enjoyed this video, remember to thumb this up and favorite so more people can see it. Don't forget to subscribe, you know you want to. That's it for me, so thanks for watching and have a great day. Click on one of the Kirbys shown here to watch more of this series.